Welcome everybody. This morning we've got a non-conference game this morning between your Proctor Rails and the Tigers from Farmington, Fairmont.
You must be thirsty. You must be thirsty.
Well, everyone, got about 2 minutes left in warm-ups here, and we'll get the game underway. Once again, we've got your Proctor Rails hosting the Tigers from Farmington this morning. Said it again, didn't I? It's Fairmont. It's definitely Fairmont.
Sure
It's
have.
only fair.
Totally fair.
You could. All right, here, just about to get underway. Isn't it 15? All right, we're underway here. Whoa, I missed the opening draw. One back by the Tigers. Pushed into the zone by Bria. Near side wall, Tigers have it. They start through center ice. Down into the zone. Tony able to clear. Rink wide dump, misses everyone. That won't make it for icing, and the Tigers will be forced to play it. Icing is the call on that. 48 seconds into the opening period, and then we'll get an offensive zone draw after the icing. Draw one back by the Tigers. Around to the near side. Clearing attempt, held in by Gray. Gets it over to Will. Will battles for it in the circle. That puck does square through. Matt covers up on the back end here. He'll retreat in, back off the wall, up, and Will gets it out. Clearing attempt there. Matt gets it to Ruxin, who's able to get it into the zone. Comes back out. Garrett now has it. He chips this off the wall. Up and out of the zone. Too far for the Rails. They'll go rink wide. Garrett has it again. That bounces off a skate. Gray dumps it in the zone as he crosses the red line, looks for a change. Garrett with the forecheck in the near side corner. Tigers are back out. That's intercepted by Tony and sent right back again. To neutral ice. Stopped just inside the blue line by Miles. He gets it back out. As it comes back in, they're offsides. We'll get a neutral zone draw just outside the rail's end. 9:34 left in the first. Still knotted at 0. Puck loose, picked up by the Tigers. Taken away by Declan, but he's stripped of the puck. Near half wall, Tigers have it. Squirts into the circle. Shot from the slot pushed wide. Tony is able to wrestle that one free. Gets it up to Bria. She's out of the zone. Declan picks it up. Puck down into the corner. Declan has it. Hurls tries to protect. Griffin on the half wall, puts it back to Declan. Cleared attempt off the glass, jumps over Matt's stick, and he's going to have to retreat to get it. He loses an edge inside his own blue line. Shot, save from Jace. Puck's loose. Tigers able to clear their zone. That's taken away. Gray will skate it up the far side. Gray enters the zone. Battling for it in the corner still. Rhea puts a forecheck on behind the net. The Tigers start back out. Tigers down. Center. It goes through everyone. Rimmed around. That does get out of the zone. Tigers are forced to regroup in neutral ice. They've got it at the blue line, dump it back in. That'll go wide of the net. Chase is going to cover. Sensing trouble there. We'll get a defensive zone draw with 7:31 left in the first. Draw one back by the Tigers. Shot from the point. Knocked aside by Tony. He'll skate into it. Chips it ahead. Not quite far enough for Ruxin, and the Tigers dump it back into the zone. Miles in behind the net. Gives that to Brecken. Brecken shovels this one ahead. Ruxin pushes it into the zone but loses possession. He'll put the forecheck on. Rink wide pass, that connects. Tigers trying to turn the corner. That shot's blocked into the far corner. Shot saved from Jace. Comes around the near side. Tigers have possession. Up to the point. Held in temporarily, but then taken away by Ruxin. They're 2-on-1 at the blue line. Shot from the far circle as he's knocked down. Rebound attempt gets kicked wide. Tigers start back. Shot from above the circle, that misses. Miles rather will pick this up. He tries to go rink wide to Max and misses. Tigers have it in behind their own. Pressure there from Declan and Garrett, but the Tigers able to escape. Shot from the circle, kicked out. Puck loose in the slot. That bounces around some skates. Declan will start it back out with it. Pushes ahead, just too far for Garrett. Rink wide pass connects. Tigers have it into the zone. Around to the circle. That shot blocked wide. Battle along the half wall now. Garrett has possession, dumps it ahead, gets it out. Tigers with possession. They'll wait for the onside, then start back in. Shot blocked at the circle. Matt picks this one up, gets it ahead to Max, and starts up. Passing attempt, hits the skate. Back up to Matt as he gets out of the zone. Battling for the neutral ice there, keeps going. Offsides as they enter. We'll get a stoppage. 4:59 left in the first period. Neutral zone draw to come just outside the rail's end. Score still tied at 0. Puck bouncing around in the circle there. That shot's pushed wide into the far corner. Brecken skates into it on the half wall. He's efficiently out of the zone. He'll get this one down in to the left of the goaltender. Forecheck in behind the net. Griffin putting the pressure on in the corner. Tigers out of the zone. They're 2-on-1 as they cross the blue line. Oh, that hits a skate on the centering pass. Good positioning. Great work by Miles to force that one wide. The ensuing shot saved and smothered by Chase. 4:29 left in the first and a defensive zone draw for the Rails. Draw one, it's loose in the circle. It's shoveled through the crease and wide. Good pressure there from Declan, forces the puck loose, and Tony hands it back to him. Out of the zone, Declan up ahead to Ruxin. He's past one, down into the circle, centers. Shot gets pushed just wide. It's a great attempt from both Ruxin and Declan. Declan still hit the corner. Sends it ahead, we got a delayed call. Jace is off the ice. Extra attacker tipped in. That's saved by the Tigers goaltender. And with possession, the Tigers will now go on the penalty kill. Rails on the first power play of the game with 3:55 left in the first. Number 26 for the Tigers is going to be assessed a minor penalty for hooking. Minute 30 on the clock. The Rails to the power play. Declan on the draw. Tigers have it initially. They look to clear high off the glass. Miles kicks it, keeps it in. Ahead to Will, battling for it on the wall there. That gets sent to Ruxin. Ruxin in the circle. He'll fire one over the net. Tony hustles over. He picks that one up on the far side. He sends this one back towards the net. Kick save from the goaltender. He corrals and smothers. 1:08 left in the power play for the Rails. We're going to get a quick change and another offensive zone draw. Draw one back. Shot from Gray, tipped by Garrett. And that's a power play goal right off the faceoff. I think. Is it going to go to Gray? It looked like Garrett had tipped it, but we'll see what the official call is. I think it was... Draw one by the Rails. Garrett over to the far wall. Just too hot for Max. Max and Garrett putting pressure on as the Tigers retreat. That lead pass puts the Tigers out of the zone. They're through neutral ice efficiently. They do end up offsides on a tipped pass across the blue line. Matt with a good stick there forces the offsides. Yep, the official scoring is Gray. Off the face-off draw there, fires one right between the wickets. So Rails the one-goal lead. Tigers dump it deep. Jace will wander out, stop it in behind. Gray picks it up along the wall. Max on the half wall there, sends it ahead, gets it to Brecken. He picks up, intercepts a clearing attempt there. Shot off of a body to the far wall. Garrett steps into it there, tries to protect along the near wall. Tigers get possession, and they start back to neutral ice. Brecken with a good back check there, disrupts. Passing attempt into the crease, knocked wide. Max tries to get it out. It's held in. Back to Max again. He starts back the other way. Rink-wide pass puts Brecken in stride. Brecken into the zone around one, but loses possession. Back again. Tony now picks it up. He gets it into the zone, but also loses possession. Regains. And he'll chop one towards the net. That gets blocked. Tigers with a head of steam through neutral ice. Down into the zone. High slot. Shot. Blocked by Griffin. Puck loose. Griffin picks it up again. He gets it out of the zone. Bria looking for it. She's into the zone. That call is going to be too many men for the Tigers. They had a line change. Puck hit his skates. Rails are going to go back on the power play. We're going to get a bench minor for too many men. Minute 30 back on the clock with minute 52 left in the period. Let's see if the Rails can capitalize once more. Tigers step right into that one. Matt poke checks it at the blue line to hold it in temporarily, but the Tigers are back out. Down into the zone. Matt has it in the circle. He'll retreat behind. He circles, takes a look, off the wall, hits Bria. Tigers take it away at their own blue line and start back in. Top of the circle, down into the slot. Backhand pass, doesn't make it. Matt battling for it there, up ahead. Griffin backhands this one out of the zone. Goes rink wide. Gray steps into it, not quite able to corral. Puck still loose across the blue line. And the Tigers will dump it in. 48 seconds left in the power play for the Rails. Minute 8 left in the period. Gray takes this one away in the circle and starts out. Rink wide pass hits Griff. Griff into the zone onsides with Bria. Down into the slot. He goes wide. Bria picks up the puck in the circle. Just off her stick. She'll center. Puck loose. Declan steps into it. Has it in behind. Battling for it there. Loses possession. The Tigers start back out. Griffin steps up and it disrupts that attempt. Puck loose in neutral ice. Griffin starts back the other way. Tigers send it rink wide and you're back into the zone. Miles ahead to Brecken. Brecken sidesteps the player there. Across the blue line, dumps it over to Bria. Bria skates into the circle. In behind, 19 seconds left, both teams at full strength. Puck to the point, held in by Miles. He fires this one wide of the net. Brecken the first one on it in the back in the corner. He sends this one, stick save. Around the corner, Tigers try to clear, and Miles will send it back into the corner. 1 second, and done. And that concludes the first period. This non-conference game between the Rails and the Tigers. The Rails with the first period lead, 1-0. We have a first period shot total for the Tigers of 4, for a first period save total for Jace of 4. First period shot total for the Rails, 3, for first period save total for the Tigers goaltender of 2. Probably won't get officially credited on the score sheet, but after some deliberation here in the peanut gallery, we've determined that Garrett actually tipped the shot from Gray. So Garrett officially with the goal. Probably won't show up on the score sheet, but either way, great play by the Rails. All right, set to start the second period here. 12 minutes on the clock. Even though I think it's supposed to be 15. Puck loose, off the draw. Ruxin battling for it. Tony steps up. He dumps it into the zone. The Tigers have possession. Pass off the far wall. Tigers are into the zone. 3-on-3. Shot from the wall. Stick save from Jace. He'll corral and melt it down. Just 18 seconds into the period, we're going to get a defensive zone draw for the Rails. Brecken over to Will. Will dumps it over to Rux, and he's out into the zone alone. Shot, scores! That's Ruxin from Will and Brecken. And the Rails have extended their lead to 2. That goal coming 27 seconds into the second period. We get a quick line change here for the Rails in a neutral zone draw. Looks like we just changed the D. Pardon me on that. Tigers have possession just inside their own blue line. They'll start back out. Rink wide pass connects. Tries to go around Matt. He kicks that one to the wall. Still battling for it. Gets it ahead. Back into the corner now. Matt with it at the bottom of the circle. He circles, takes a look. Misses his connection with Ruxin, and the Tigers will have to collect in their own end. D to D pass. Rink wide up ahead. Ray chooses to retreat rather than put pressure on there, and Tigers lose possession as they enter the zone. Flipped high. Garrett has it. Pushes it to the far wall and out. Tigers forced to regroup. They'll dump it back in again. Jace will set this up along the wall. Give it to Matt. Matt stops. Dekes one. Pass off the wall is going to go too far for everyone. That hits the other wall. All the way down. We'll get an icing call and a defensive zone draw with 10:35 left in the second. Draw one back by the Tigers. Into the corner. They look for a center. That goes all the way through. That ends up outside the zone. Tigers go D to D at their own blue line. As they go ahead, puck's into the zone. They're on sides off the tip. Shot, gloved, and held onto by Jace. Flash in the leather. 10:14 left in the second, and we'll get a defensive zone draw again for the Rails. That's one back by the Tigers, but they overskate. Tony dumps this one out. This won't make it enough for icing. Tigers forced to play it. Garrett putting pressure on in behind. Clearing attempt, intercepted. Garrett now has it, circles in the neutral ice. He goes near side to Max, just a little bit too hot. Tigers have it down in their own corner. On the far side, headman pass does connect. Tony steps in and disrupts temporarily. Still putting pressure on there. Short side attempt, doesn't make it out front. Tony has it again, puts it off the wall. And the Rails are cleared. Dumped back in by the Tigers. Tony picks it up in the near side corner. Tries to go D to D, it's intercepted. Tigers with possession in behind. They go out front, shot fanned on. Defenseman steps up, shot from the dot. That gets blocked. Tony able to get to the near side circle. Max now with possession, tries to clear. Tigers reverse back down into the corner. Tony and Declan battling for it. Garrett, near side wall, sensing trouble. He'll dump that all the way down, and we'll get an icing call, a line change, and a defensive zone draw for the Rails with 8:57 left in the second. Tigers win the draw there. Matt's stick lifted up and out of his hands, but Brecken will step into it. Brecken, Bria, and Griffin into the zone. That's dumped in behind. Bria giving chase. Tigers cover up, take the puck. Sidestep Griffin on the half wall. Pinch from Gray holds the zone. Possession along the half wall for the Tigers. Hits Gray in the skates. He's unable to hold though. The Tigers start back. Shot blocked by Gray on a diving attempt. Matt in behind, loses possession to the Tigers. Shot, that's kick saved all the way back up to the high slot. Defenseman sidesteps one. Shot hits Jason in the chest. Rebound wide. Tigers out front again. This shot pushed wide off the centering attempt from behind. Tigers holding possession, doing a good job of cycling the zone. Signed it out front, shot and scored. Too much pressure for too long. The Tigers capitalize, cutting the lead to 1. Score now 2-1 Rails. 8:02 left in the second period. Tigers win the draw. Up through neutral ice. They'll dump it down into the corner. Jace wanders out, sets this one up. He puts it back into the corner. Tigers intercept. Centering attempt all the way through. Defenseman steps up in the circle here. That shot off the glove and wide. Good save from Jace. Puck loose in the corner. Declan tries to shovel that ahead. It's intercepted. Centering attempt. That gets shoveled wide. Miles with possession now in the corner. Chips it ahead. Roxon unable to get it out of the zone. Miles tries again. Tony in the corner now. He'll circle in behind the net. Over to Will. Will with it in the bottom of the circle. He takes a look. Over to Tony. Tony up ahead. Rox tips it out of the zone. Tigers regroup possession. They send one into Will. Puck loose just outside the blue line. Will offsides, and the Tigers recollect. Down into the zone. Tiger player upended, no call there. Miles with possession. Puts it up the wall. Declan will pick this one up. And Declan's efficiently out of the zone. He's tripped as he crosses through neutral ice. No call there. Garrett with a shot from just inside the blue line. Kick save collected by the Tigers. And the Tigers are back out. They'll dump it into the zone. Tony, the first one to it. So the Tiger player overtook him. Sent ahead. Tipped ahead. Declan will step into it. He's 1-on-2 as he crosses the blue line. Poke check there, takes the puck away. Tigers are on behind. Tipped ahead. Into the middle, but the puck's taken away. Garrett dumps this one into the zone. Garrett holds the point temporarily there. Tony steps up, unable to hold. The Tigers are 3-on-1 across the blue line. Centering attempt from the dot. Stopped by Miles just wide of the net. Jace had vacated the post, and that one just missed. Puck back out front, gets shoveled into the near side corner. That gets chipped up into the netting, and we get a stoppage. 5:46 left in the second. Rails still maintaining their 2-1 lead, though the Tigers are flying at the moment. Draw one by the Tigers. Played into the corner. Trying to center there. Taken away by Matt. Battling in behind the net. Still battling. Still battling. Tigers try to center. That doesn't make it out front. Reckon goes rink wide. Hits Bria in stride. She chips this one ahead. She'll skate into it here in the offensive zone, but the Tigers take it away. Stopping in behind. Reversing back this way. Reckon with it. Dumps it off the wall. It's intercepted. We got one flying, and they're into the zone. 2-on-0. Matt trying to get back in time. Shot. Goes over the shoulder and scores. The Tigers have tied the game at 2. Declan wins this draw over to Griffin. Shoved it over to Bria. Possession taken away, given back to the Tigers as they circle in behind. They had a steam. They're going to exit the zone. That gets kicked into the slot. Puck down into the corner. Delayed call. And there's the Rails. And as the Rails play it, Matt's going to get called for interference. Minor penalty for interference credited to match. The Rails will be on the first penalty kill here of the game for them. James tied at 2, 4:42 left in the second period. Declan wins the draw over to Miles. Puck sent high off the glass. I think it ended up out of the zone or out of play. We'll get a new puck and reset and do it again. Draw one, shot from the point, misses the net. Tigers with possession in the near side corner. Griffin takes that one away, shoves it around the corner. Tony will skate into it, takes a look. His lead pass too hot for Declan. And the Tigers will start back in. Griffin steps into that one, takes it away. Starts ahead, he's able to go rink wide, but it doesn't get out of the zone. Tigers still have possession. Poke back to the line, Tigers still with it. Griffin blocks his shot. Declan steps into one, and Griffin now has possession again. Over to Declan, right behind him. Tigers back into the zone. 43 seconds left in the minor penalty to Matt. Shot, stick save from Jace, pushes it into the corner. Tony now in the corner with it. Backhands that one ahead to Miles. Miles fans on the clearing attempt. Tigers will push it right back into the corner. Tony with it in behind. Has his pocket picked. Tigers come around. Rink wide, centering attempt. Puck's in the slot. Tigers have it. That shot off a skate into the far side corner. Defenseman steps up. His shot wide from the top of the circle. 9 seconds left in the penalty kill. Tigers still have possession in behind. They center. Kick save from Jace. Puck into the near side. Matt's back on the ice. Proctor's back at full strength. Declan starts ahead. His pass attempt didn't quite make it. Matt now has it, but he stumbles. Down into the corner, Matt puts on the pressure. Around behind, he circles. His shot gets blocked. Clearing attempt held in by Miles. Miles fires a high shot that's gloved and dropped. Tigers will circle in behind their own net. They come near side. High off the glass, gets it out of the zone. Brecken intercepts though, shoves it in, but the Tigers will start right back out again. Tigers with possession on the near side wall. They'll send it around behind. Centering attempt, that's intercepted. Clearing attempt from Brecken is held in. Sidesteps Will, got a delayed penalty. And on the delayed penalty, once the Rails touch it, we're going to get a minor penalty for slashing attributed to Gray. 2:10 left in the second period. The Rails back on a penalty kill. Tigers with possession along the half wall. Dumped into the corner. Miles will skate in behind the net to pick this up. He pushes this off the far wall. It's held in at the point though. Tigers step back in. Shot from the top of the circle. Blocked. That goes right to the stick of a Tiger player. And a power play goal for the Tigers gives them their first lead of the game. Draw one back by the Tigers. Ruxin intercepts. Puck squirts out of the zone. Bounces around. Brecken back up to Will. Will's into the zone. Sidesteps the player there. Loses possession into the circle though. Puck Puck into the circle. Brecken back to the point. Matt has it now. He'll shoot. That's wide of the net. Gray steps up. The shot gets pushed past him, icing the indication as it hits the end wall. Matt will collect, icing the call. 1:15 left in the second. And an offensive zone drop for the Rails. Tigers have possession off the draw. Held in by Gray at the point. Garrett will be the first one on it in behind. He circles, takes a look, centers. That hits a boot. Garrett with it back on the wall. Centers. Off of Max's stick, and the Tigers will collect. Max takes it away at the red line, though. Shoves it back into the zone. Garrett will put the pressure on. Rink wide pass puts the Tigers out of the zone. Declan intercepts. Tigers into the zone, 3-on-2. Max coming back to help cover. Centering attempt off of Jace. Second attempt. Couple kick saves there. Jace finds it underneath himself. He'll smother it. 29.5 left in the second period. Score still 3-2. Tigers win this draw back to the point. They'll walk it into the circle. Shot blocked by Griffin. Bria chops it off the wall and out. Brecken giving chase. Tigers will be the first ones on it. Icing waved off. Brecken takes it away in behind. Bria skates into it there. She centers. Tony shovels it over to Miles. Miles from the half wall. Tipped. That's blockered away. Puck in behind. Tigers have possession. That's the end of the second period. Shot totals after 2 for the Tigers, 13 for a 2-period save total of 10 for Jace. 6 for the Rails for a 2-period save total of 4 for the Tiger goaltender. We're going to take a 2-minute break and come right back. .12 minutes on the clock, set to start the third period. We'll get an opening draw by Brecken. He'll have Ruxin and Will on the wings, Tony and Miles at the points. One back by Brecken all the way to Jace. Jace chips this ahead. Tony has possession, tries to chip it out. It's intercepted. Puck still bouncing around near the blue line. Tony finally does clear. Slapped in, not quite into the zone. Tony sends it back ahead once more. And the Tigers forced to retreat into their own zone. This rink-wide pass connects, puts them into the zone, but intercepted by Miles. Miles sidesteps the forechecker there. Ahead to Will, and Will's into the zone. Onside at the line, tries to hand that one to Brecken just behind him. The Tigers will start back out. Around the corner there, centering attempts, knocked aside by Will. Wanders down into the circle. That backhand attempt up and over the net. Tigers have possession in the corner. Centering attempt, poke check by Jace, straight to Tony, or Ruxin rather. Ruxin into the offensive zone with it. He'll shoot from above the circle, hits a body, and he's going to retreat for a line change. Tigers come out of the zone with speed into the offensive zone. Pressure on the wall by Miles. Down, blocked shot from Matt. Declan pushes it ahead. Garrett now has possession. He backhands this one up, but held at the line by the Tigers. Jay stops this one, shoves it back up the wall. Garrett will be the first one on it, turns and goes. Through neutral ice, he goes rink wide, hits Max, who dumps it into the zone. Tigers retreat around behind. Declan the first one on it in the near corner. He has his pocket pick. Garrett with a poke check there. Still battling for it in the corner. Held by Gray. He puts this one, wow. Oh, tipped by Declan just wide of the net. Max pushes this one in behind again. Declan to the near side corner. Garrett to the point for Gray. Tipped by Garrett. That's on net. Puck still bouncing around. Rebound from Declan. 2 saves and smothered by the Tiger goaltender. 9:49 left in the third. The Rails are on the attack. Brecken on the draw for the Rails. Bria steps into this one, battling in the corner with it. She sends this back to the point. One-timer by Gray, tipped wide by Brecken. Matt holds the point, steps up into it. Tigers take that one away. They go rink wide, and this is everyone, though. This is going to make it just in time for icing. Gray's wiped out in the corner, and we'll reset, go back the other direction. Offensive zone draw with 9:29 left in the third. Draw one by the Tigers. Around behind. They go rink wide. It misses everyone as well. Far enough. Icing waved off. Tigers' first one's on it. Centering attempt. Deflected. Collected shot. Stick save and smothered by Jace. 9:07 left in the third, and we're going to get a defensive zone draw for the Rails. Shot off the draw. Saved and covered by Jace.
Let's go, Proctor!
Reset and do it again. One by the Tigers. They go back to the D. This shot blocked up high. Puck loose. Rebound attempt off the far post. Tigers still have possession on the far half wall. Down into the corner. They circle. Steps out, shot. Jace able to get it. First one, but the rebound squirts loose. Tigers able to shove that one into the empty net off the rebound, and they've extended their lead to 2. Tigers just walk away with it off the drop. Into the zone, poke checked away. Puck comes back into the zone. Declan clears. They're going to call offsides. Neutral zone draw here for the Rails. Won by Declan. Ruxin with it. Backhands it, taken away. Tigers into the zone. Poke check from Gray, takes it away. Ruxin will pick it up on the far half wall. Rink wide saucer pass, gets out of the zone. Declan battling for it. He's able to get it. He loses an edge, but Will step into this. Will into the zone alone. Down into the back. Backhand shot. Blocker save. Tigers try to clear. Intercepted by Declan. He sidesteps the man. Tries to send it to Will, and it's taken away. Tigers out of the corner. They got a man flying. Matt steps up to defend. Shot long from the wall. Glove saved, held onto by Jay. 7:45 left in the third. Rails still trailing by a pair. Puck in the corner, bounces up. Brecken steps into it. He's able to clear the zone. Griffin putting pressure on there, neutral ice, dumps back in, intercepted by Miles. He goes rink wide, just too hot for Brecken. Max putting pressure on here. Tigers escape the zone. Garrett overskates. Miles with a good skate play, and he's going to start back on his own. Miles through neutral ice into the offensive zone, battling with it all the way down to the half wall. Around to the far side. Brecken has it there. He'll loft the shot in. That goes off a body, jumps back to a Tiger stick, and they're back out of the zone. Pass puts them in, intercepted by Brecken. Garrett now has possession. He looks rink wide, fans on a passing attempt, and the Tigers have the puck. Tigers into the zone on that pass. Sidesteps Griffin. Pass. The passing attempt gets deflected, fools Jace, and in behind the net, or into the goal. Score now 5 for the Tigers with 6:33 left in the third. Battling for it, puck still loose. Bria pushes it forward. Declan now he's in the zone on sides. Near side wall, sidesteps one, sidesteps another. Still battling for it there, ends up in the corner. Will in behind, tries to take the puck away. Tigers are on the corner there. Send it ahead. Gray, push it back to the far side wall. He steps up, can't quite corral. And the Tigers are into the offensive zone. We're on the corner, centering attempt. That goes off a stick wide of the net. Will fans on a passing attempt there. The Tigers take that and try to dump it into the corner. Puck bouncing around. Declan sends it ahead. Tigers intercept, step up, shot, glove save, and held onto by Jace. Wide open look for Jace there. 5:42 left in the third, and we're going to get a line change and a defensive zone draw for the Rails. Draw won by Brecken. Garrett unable to corral. Poke check from Matt, gives it to Rux. Rux gets out of the zone, battling for possession. Poke check at the poke check at the blue line puts them in offsides. Garrett couldn't quite stop up on the poke check there. We're going to get a defensive zone or a defensive pairing change there. We'll get a neutral zone draw. One by Brecken, skips over the Garrett stick, and the Tigers will take possession. Miles circles in his own zone. He goes rink wide. That deflects off a stick. Ruxin putting pressure on with Garrett. They come up, chip it up near side, taken away by Miles. Garrett tips it around the defender. Slap shot off the far wall, puts it into the zone. Jace tips it to Griff too far. Tigers will step into it. Save from Jace on that interesting play. That shot gets blocked, pops up. Griffin overskates, and the Tigers are right back in. Shot wide of the net. From the near side, shot tipped wide. Tigers will dump it to the near side wall. Garrett steps up into it there, tries to tip it around the pinching defender. Puck stuck there. Ruxin comes in with a check. He comes away with it, goes rink wide, not out of the zone, and the Tigers will just dump it right back into the corner. Tigers from behind. Shot off the skate. Poke check from Miles gets him free. He's got one to beat, one on his back. Sidesteps one, sidesteps the other, gets taken down, no call. And the Tigers will start back the other way. Tigers down into the far corner. Max takes that one away, but he's stripped of the puck. From the top of the circle, we're going to get a penalty on the Tigers. Looks like number 58 called for a hook, and the Rails, with 3:49 left in the third, will go on their third power play of the game. Declan, Bria, and Tony are the forwards with Gray and Matt at the points. Matt unable to hold the zone. Tigers are off to the races. Shot, kick save from Jace. Matt steps into this one and starts back the other way. He settles the puck as he crosses the blue line into the zone. He'll shoot. Glove save, loose in the slot. Puck gets dumped high off the glass and out. Gray picks it up, Declan picks it up in neutral ice. He starts back around, loses possession as he crosses the blue line, though, and the Tigers start the other way. Shot from above the circle, blocker save, kicked wide. Tigers dump it back into the corner. Declan has it. Declan goes rink wide, finds Bria just outside the zone, and she'll start up. Bria through neutral ice, dumps it into the zone, puts the pressure on. Holding the zone is Max. Bria now has it in the low slot. Shot, score! Bria with her first goal of the season. It'll be a Bria from Max. And the Rails are now within 2 on that power play goal. Tigers dump it ahead. Tony overskates. Shot. Kick save. Rebound. Forced up and over. That hits the netting. Great sprawling rebound save from Jace on that one. And with the puck out of play, 2:38 left in the third. Rails trailing by 2. We'll get a defensive zone draw to Jace's left. Tigers back to the point. Shot blocked. They have possession. Rux steps up into it. Oh, just overskated in the high slot. Shot from the dot. That beats Jace glove side. Far post and in. And the Tigers, just like that, regain their 3-goal differential. 6-3, 2:27 left. We're going to get a line change and a neutral zone draw after the goal. Will steps up into it after the draw. Into the zone, just past the blue line, still battling for it there. He loses possession though, and Tigers start back the other way. Into the offensive zone. Gray will pick this one up for the Rails. He circles in behind. Off the far side wall, held at the point. Sidesteps one, down into the circle. Poke check from Gray, forces them into the corner. Tigers skate out of the corner with it. Shot pushed on net, kick save and smothered. 150 left in the third. And a defensive zone draw for the Rails. One by the Tigers. Shot blocked by Ruxin. Matt steps up. There's a pile of bodies just inside the blue line. Puck loose. Will battling for it there. Delayed penalty for a trip. It's going to be called on Ruxin. And the Rails are back on the penalty kill with 1:37 left in the game. Declan wins this one over to Tony. Tony tries to chip it out. It's held in. Shot. Intercepted. Around the corner. Tigers have possession into the near side circle. Still circling the zone. Far side. Shot. That's pushed up and over. Pinching defender has it on the half wall. Send it back into the corner. Tony battling for it in behind. Tigers have possession. To the defenseman here. Shot. Glove save. Dropped. Rebound. Off of Jason. Off the post and out. Sent ahead. Declan tries to chip it out, but the Tigers still have possession. Declan at the top of the circle steps into it. He's out of the zone efficiently. He tries to sidestep the defenders down into the zone. He loses possession. Battles for it there, trying to take it away on the half wall. Tigers able to escape, and they're back the other way. Tigers are on the near side corner. Centering attempt taken away by Garrett. He's able to clear. Dumped ahead. Gray putting the pressure on there, trying to get to it first. Clearing attempt does connect. Tigers into the zone. Sidesteps the lone defender, but the puck's loose into the corner. 11 seconds left in the game. Back to the point. Tigers have possession. D to D. Top of the circle. Shot. Gloves dropped and smothered. 2.4 left in the third period. We'll get one more draw. And that should do it. Draw one back by the Tigers. And that's the end of the game. Final score is 6-3.